Awesome, Charles. We might give it, I'm going to answer some of your questions, then we'll give it a couple of minutes. And if I've answered them all, we'll probably end the Zoom early, but I'm sure there'll be some latecomers. How you been anyways? Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, I was just looking at the diary and thought, oh, it was, yeah, last year, exactly 1 week, 1 year, we signed
Yeah,
the agreement. So, yeah,
unbelievable how
time flies.
let me just spotlight myself. How time flies by. Yeah, it just feels like the other day you and May were at the head office doing your 3-day test before you invest.
Hmm.
Been crazy, but shoot away, Charles, 101. Lucky you.
Um, I've been contacting daycares in that area and, just same old thing. Everyone seems to be busy is the word. At what point do you gauge always following up, or do you just leave them and let them come to you, or you know what I mean? There's comes a point where you let the public know, the community, that you're here, but if you keep chasing up, you might come across desperate. Just some advice from you.
I'd probably have to dig deeper and ask some further questions. The first one is how are you contacting these daycare centers? Because that plays a big role on the touch points. How are you getting in contact with them? Email, phone, or visit?
Yeah, I mixed it up. Initially, I did a bulk email,
Uh-huh.
and then from there, I visited the centers,
Yep.
and then there was some that were interested, so I did a personalized email,
Hmm.
and then I tried to call, and then when
So
you're on
what
the
would you say? So what would you say the split is between emailing, visiting, and calling?
um, kind of a third of everything,
A
really.
third? Okay.
Yeah,
So if there's 100 daycares, 33% you've called, 33% you've
yeah,
emailed, 33% you've visited in
visited.
person.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
roughly, yeah.
That makes sense. And out of those three ways, which one has given you the most interest or you've gotten the most response? Email, phone call, or visiting?
Visiting, definitely visiting.
Visiting gives you more reception?
Yeah, I think being visible in person
Okay.
is the best.
So I think to answer your question on how many touch points you should do until you close it off, if it's email, if you're doing email, Charles, I'd do 3 email touch points within a 7-day time span. That's 3 email touch points within a 7-day time frame. If you don't hear back from them on email, then they're not interested. Then you put them on your touch base for next quarter.
Oh,
So
you wouldn't
three,
visit the center?
no, I would absolutely, I'll be visiting all my centers, Charles.
Okay.
So showing face, you said here that you've got a third, which means you visited a third of all your centers. I would be
No,
visiting
no,
all.
no, not a third. I meant, out of all the activities I've done, it's roughly the ones that I've visited, I've contacted three ways that way. I've split it that way.
Okay.
I haven't seen a third of the daycare centers in my area.
Is that less or more?
Less, way less.
Okay. So I think what I would try to do, so as a rule of thumb, Charles, three touch points within 1 week. It can be a call, a visit, or an SM or a message. Three touch
Mm,
points within a week. If you don't hear anything from a lead from 3 touch points, it's got to be three. 3 touch points. If you call them, that's one. If you SMS them, that's two. If you visit them, that's three. If you get nothing after 7 days, it's a dead lead. Put it on your callback list or your visit list for next quarter. And in the interim, I would try make it a goal by, for example, April 30th or some type of target to visit in person all your childcare centers because I guarantee you, if you visit all your childcare centers in person and they see your face, even though they might not want to do a trial then and then,
mm.
when you go to re-engage them via an email campaign or a phone call in a quarter's time, your conversion rate's going to go up purely because they say, I remember that guy. He came in to the center to promote his daycare program. So I would try to visit all your centers because that's going to increase your conversion metrics on the phone and email.
I did get a couple of compliments. Some ladies said, look, this is the best way to do it. Come see us. and it's
Yeah.
awesome you're coming here.
Yeah.
And generally, if you just put a friendly face and smile, I notice they're happy to talk to you actually.
No, no, they are.
But
Well,
emails, they're too busy to respond, and phone calls, like
Yeah, emails and phone calls with childcare sent. Phone calls, it's tough because they're on the
yeah.
floor. A lot of them are on the floor, like they're working with the kids and they barely have a minute to answer anything. Emails, they're drowning in emails. I honestly think if you can go there and you can visit them for 30 seconds or have a conversation for a couple of minutes, they're a lot more responsive to you. And like you said, if you come in with a friendly face, you have flyers, worst case scenario, you leave a bunch of flyers there. You know, 9 times out of 10, they're okay to hear you out. You might get the odd one out of 10 that might just say, go away, but that's it.
Hmm, okay.
What's your other question? Let's go. Let's shoot away.
Um, I don't know. I was thinking of one of my coaches had a great idea. You know, how we give the certificates. We have like a category award, for example, 4 categories, like not most valuable player, because I think isolating one player that's the best, it's not really good for the other kids, but more, we call it most promising player, someone who has the potential to go from mini to little, little to mighty. Um,
I think that'd be
um,
most improved. That'd be most
yeah,
improved.
second one's most improved, third
Yeah.
one's defensive player, and fourth one's sportsmanship, someone who passes the ball, shakes kids' hands. What do you think about having 4 categories, isolating 4 kids that stand up? Will the other kids feel a bit um bad about themselves, or will they strive to be better next term? Or I just
I
thought I'd get your opinion.
I think, are you thinking about doing a certificate or a medal for these four
Oh, on the
categories?
certificate, we'll put like either a sticker or um just a stick on saying defensive player or on the certificate.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea in principle. You always have that setback of, a child getting upset because they didn't get
Yeah.
selected or a parent getting upset. That's always a potential drawback. But what's worked really well for me in my area, and I know some of the franchisees that run it as well, we do the junior basketball competition, so ages 9 to 12, the all games one, the one after Mighty Boomers. And because they're at that age of real competitive and they want to get better, what I've done in the past, and Gerard actually had this idea and it was really good. We had an MVP medal, not medal, an MVP trophy. And what happened was at the end of every week, Gerard selected an MVP of the session, and that child got to take home the trophy for the week. And then next week, they would bring it back, and Gerard will select another MVP. So it got rotated eight
Hmm.
times around.
Hmm.
And geez, the kids really loved that. They were so excited when they got to keep the trophy there for a week and then come to the next session and give it back in. Then it created a lot of anticipation. So you could do it. Maybe it might be better you implement something like that for Mighty Boomers or your junior basketball competitions. Probably, preschoolers, minis and litties might get a bit, you know, upset. So just
I
something to
might
keep in the back burner.
I might test it for one term and then
Yeah.
I'll say something like for those, I won't harp on it too much, but it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Kids might get upset, but at the same time they might go, oh, mum and dad, next term I want to improve, get most improved, or
Could be taken that way for sure.
I might I might take a risk and try it this term.
Yeah, do it, Charles. See it. Do
Yeah.
do it and see what it does. At the end of the day, Charles, it has to help improve either one of two metrics, either your retention rate or your profitability, either one of those two metrics. Otherwise, if it's just there and it's good to have there and it's good to have in the background, then it might be a waste. But if it does, like if parents get excited and it helps improve retention rate, kids coming back next term because they want to try win this type of award, then by all means. But every initiative you do, tie it back to one of those two metrics. Is this going to help increase retention rate or is this going to help increase revenue?
I, yeah, I think so. Because what I know is typically the kids that try it once or twice at 2 terms, they're not going to stay, they're just trying it. But the ones that I've noticed consistently come back, they love Little Boomers and they want to keep playing. So maybe this award system makes them have that extra
Yeah,
edge, maybe, or
I think look, if you're gonna go down that route of what can I do to help increase retention rate, you got to think in terms of finite resources because there's so many different things that you can do to increase retention rate. Some can do it, some work better than others, right? If you're going to say, okay, like if I give a special award like this, is this going to help retain members? That's one way. Another way might be, and I'm not saying this is the right answer, this might be something for you to think about. I've noticed throughout my years that parents obsess about how their child's progress is tracking. They obsess about it. They want to see a report. They want to see
hmm
progress. They want to see how their child is progressing. Are they getting better? What's the next step up? How are we progressing in terms of, skill development? So you might be able to, like, what might serve you better? Because I know this really increases retention rate. Like halfway through the program, you might say, you know what, I'm going to do one-on-one check-ins with the parent. Might even have your own little scorecard, little paper scorecard there, how they're doing in layups, how they're doing in shooting, how their technique is, how their engagement is in class, how their fitness. You can just have a little check card and go halfway through the program and say, hey, Charles, I just going here with my check card. I'm going through, we're just doing a little bit of an evaluation to see how every child's progressing. I thought I'll give you an update on how Jimmy's going. For his layups, he's doing awesome. He's about an 8 out of 10 here. But at the moment, his left hand dribbling is about a 2 out of 10. I recommend da da da. Charles, that will, in my opinion, I mean, you'd have to see the data, that in my opinion will have a much more higher influence on retention rate than a special category award, specifically because I know from previous that parents love progress reports, check-ins, those type of
Okay.
things.
I might implement that for next term, but in regards to that, I've been more verbally going to each parent saying, "Oh, your child's doing well. What do you think?" And
Standardize it,
yeah,
Charles.
I'm gonna
Just
have
get
to.
like get something, go to Officeworks, print 100 of these things, get the child's name on it. Hey, he's ranking well. Da, 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 da. Here you go. We'll check
So,
in later with you.
would you ask the parent what their rating is, or the coaches as well, or
I would say the rating is not what the parent says, it's what you and or your
and
coaches
the
rate
coach?
it.
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah, I
another
might.
another thing as well, if you want to just to get your ideas thinking, but this is specifically if we're talking about retaining members, increasing retention rate. If you want to try increase retention rate, what we've noticed is when parents start to form relationships between other parents, they start to,
Yeah.
oh, I go into class because I can't wait to see Joe. They stay in that same class for
Mm.
a lot longer. They don't want their child to switch class because they've now got a friend that's another parent in the class. So something that you might want to do, and somebody told me about this, which I think is great. At the end of the term, organize a parents' party. All the parents come together for an hour and you put on, coffee, biscuits or something, tie it in with Father's Day, tie it in with Easter, tie it in with Mother's Day, something to get the parents going. Because if the parents are starting to like form a connection with each other and speak to each other more at classes, they're not going to want to switch classes. And we've had that at Riverwood where like a parent becomes like there's 8 of them. It's like a little committee. And
Mm.
now they make sure that that all their children are doing that same class because they love the fact that they can drop their child off for an hour and then speak with each other, as opposed to just texting on their phone or just, getting bored for an hour. So if you can do something to engage the parents, like an end of term party with the parents, hey, coffee and tea or something like that, I think I think that'll have a direct impact on retention.
Okay, I might implement that next term.
But don't get, yeah, try not to get decision paralysis and have all these different ideas you want to implement. I'm a big guy of I'm a big believer of one thing per quarter. So try one thing per quarter, go hard at it, see if it helps with retention rates, see what the feedback is. If it's good, go again. If it's not, pivot.
I might try that progress report first with the.
Progress report would be great. I know parents, and then you can tie progress reports into what the next step, because they need to have it like if they enjoy the program, which is great, they're going to sign up for next term. But if you give them a reason and you say, if little Johnny excels in this report, he might be ready for the next program up, littles to mighties, minis to littles, whatever. It gives them a reason to say, okay, wow, I'm going to re-enroll back into the Mighty Boomers program because my child's, performing very good in accordance to their report and they're ready for the next program up.
Okay.
Reason. It gives them a reason to sign up.
Yeah, I might do it next term, week 4 maybe,
Yeah, week 4,
halfway.
week 5.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I don't really have much questions. I was hoping to hear from others and listen, but
That's all good. Everyone's probably got a lot happening
busy.
with the last week of the program and
End
stuff.
of term. Yeah.
Yeah, end of term, but all good, Charles. Other than that, my friend, thanks for jumping on as always.
Yeah.
I shall let you go. I hope you have a great week. I hope your classes finish well. Don't forget, it's been a big term. I know you and May work hard, so make sure you celebrate end of term and treat yourself to something.
Something. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Charles. Talk
See ya.
soon. God bless.
Bye.